Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sydney Ward. I am the energy healer and intuitive guide behind Like Animal Wellness. And today we're going to continue to talk about the moon. And today specifically, we're going to talk about the full moon in Libra. Now, Libra is the scales. It's all about balance. And a chunk of what we're going to talk about today is really taking this time to see the beauty in life. It's a really great time to be visible, to let go of relationships that are energetically one-sided, or to find balance between what your needs are and your service to others. Full moons in general are a time to reevaluate and pivot if necessary. Under the full light of the moon, things become clearer, and we're all asked to kind of deal with our stuff and invited to let go and move on from what isn't serving us. The sign that the full moon is in helps us to shine a light on specific tendencies or a specific area in our lives that need a little extra attention, or that this time is especially suited to give that attention, if that makes sense. Libra, the sign itself, is charming and social, courteous, and she's always seeking balance. That big headline word, balance. However, along with that courteousness and consideration, she can be overly concerned with the needs of others. We are connected to other people. We are connected to the people around us. We have these energetic cords reaching out and tying us to or connecting us to everyone who has real estate in our minds and our hearts. I can't remember where I heard it, but a phrase that I really like is, don't let bad tenants lease space in your mind, right? So sometimes, right, those connections can hold us back. Those energetic cords can keep us tethered and deplete us, but in the right circumstances, they weave us a little closer to source, a little closer to the universal threads that bind us all. So with that in mind, during the full moon in Libra, so this is specifically for when the full moon is in Libra, it's a time or a big invitation to notice if you are thinking too much about others and neglecting your own needs. So that's big thing number one. Maybe it's something to just contemplate and be aware of. Maybe it's something that you'd like to journal about. The second big thing, and I mentioned this at the top of the video, is it's time to see the beauty in life, to make a conscientious choice to see the beauty in all of the little moments, the little spaces in between, the things that we don't always notice or appreciate on a daily basis. It's also a good time in that same kind of realm to spend some time beautifying your space. When I say your space, I don't mean the space that you share with your roommates. I don't mean your kids' rooms. I don't mean that little desk in your kitchen that the whole family uses. I mean your personal space. Spend some time making that space beautiful. Maybe doing some redecorating, maybe just reorganizing, maybe swapping out some pictures, that kind of thing, but really making it beautiful and your own. And the fourth thing is this is a good time. Usually full moons are kind of, we know them for letting go, but it's also a good time to pivot. So with the full force, like the reflective nature of the full moon and the full force of the sign in Libra, it's a really good time to start a mindfulness and meditation practice. So if you've been kind of toying with that idea, or you've heard it and you've been thinking I should do that, and you haven't been really committing, this is your official invitation from the universe to start that practice. Start small. It can be once or twice a week. It doesn't even have to be every day. I'm a big fan of guided meditation. So if you'd like to come along with me, I'm currently doing live guided meditations through my Instagram. So that's one way to access it. You can also find guided meditations through various cell phone apps or even on YouTube right here. So whatever works for you, just make it something that is easy for you to attain and sustain. And as maybe it starts with once a week, and as you get to every Sunday, let's say you make time to meditate, when that becomes easy, then do it twice a week, then 3 times a week, then every other day. build. Don't put that pressure of yourself of like, I have to do it every day, otherwise I fail, right? Because that's not balanced. That's out of alignment with the energy of this moon, right? We want things to be balanced and we want to be kind to ourselves, at least equally as kind to ourselves as we are to other people. So I also like to talk about things that you can do anytime the moon is in this sign. So you could do these now while it's full, but these are good activities for any time the moon is in Libra. Now, the way that I use these things is if I have this like big cloud of to-dos and I'm not sure how to spend my day or what I want to dedicate energy towards, I look to these kinds of things. I look at what sign the moon is in that day and I let that guide where my energy flows that day, because then I know what my energy and the moon's energy are going to be syncing up to push towards. So some things that it's great to do anytime the moon is in Libra. One, use your charm. If there's a situation, a conversation that requires your natural charming abilities, bring that into play. Lean into it. Look for opportunities to create harmony, to create that balance. It's a good time to opt for more one-on-one time. I said that Libra can be very social, but the reflective nature, or the reflective questions that it asks us are much better suited to one-on-one, and then you don't have so much energy going out in so many directions. It can be like a really solid connection that you're pouring really good time and energy into. This is the time to be decisive. Don't waffle. Don't waste your time doubting yourself. Pick a direction and go. It's a good time with that to negotiate contracts and agreements. It's going to help bring about the most balanced situation for everyone involved. With that, don't allow yourself to be guilted or obligated into doing something that you don't really want to do. If it's available, spend some time in beautiful places like parks or museums or anywhere to you that just speaks and breathes beauty. Listen to your favorite music, the kind of music that kind of fills your soul and makes you sway. This is a great time. Anytime the moon is in Libra is a really good time to really pamper your skin. So if you only do like a big mini home facial, or if you only get a facial once a month, make it around when the moon is in Libra. This is my favorite thing. Treat yourself, right? Treat yourself. When the moon is in Libra, it is a perfect time in the spirit of giving as much to yourself as you do to others to treat yourself to something beautiful. It doesn't have to be expensive, but if you're comfortable with that, it can be. The only requirement is that it brings more beauty into your life. And in that same vein, it's time, anytime the moon is in Libra, to slow down, to stop and smell the flowers. Again, appreciating all those little beautiful moments, those little beautiful things that surround us in every moment of every day. So, going a little bit deeper on the moon side of things, the Libra full moon sits opposite of the Aries new moon, right? So we're in Aries season. That's where the sun is. And the new moon and the full moon are in opposite signs, on opposite sides of the astrological wheel. So our Libra full moon and Aries new moon are the peak and valley, respectively, of the first lunar month of the astrological year. The pull between these two moons really illuminates the challenge in balancing our own needs and the needs of others. It challenges how we approach conflict. Are we always battling, or are we always pacifying? That being Aries and Libra, respectively. And it really invites us to freely be ourselves and, right, that's the Aries side, the Libra side, to accept others as they are freely being themselves. With all of that in mind, as you work through this full moon and the rest of this lunar phase, notice these polarities and see if there's room to find a greater balance between the ambitious, headstrong energy of Aries and the passive, pleasing energy of Libra. So I think that's enough to get us all started. I would love to hear what about this was interesting for you, what was illuminating, as well as what you plan to do with your Libra full moon. Well, thank you all so much for spending a little bit of time with me today. Be well.